Welcome, welcome. This is just going to get more and more fun. I'm so excited. This Monday night, Laura and I, you know Laura of Laura fame, have been working on this grade 8 that I've been talking about. And I think this grade 8 is such a novel concept. It's not novel, but it's such a great concept for us to really get us back to sewing, because I think sometimes we do a piece here and a piece there and we just don't really know how to bring it together, and I really think this is going to bring it together. Laura is very honest with me as to what struggles she has, and so I'm able to really help, and I think that's the same thing that you and I all need to do. But anyway, this Monday we'll cover the grade 8. But in doing all of that, Laura said to me, I want something flowy and fun, and you know, and I wanted it to be simple because she's done so much work that I really wanted it to be simple. Something I could wear, she could wear, kind of transferable. Something you could travel with, something very light. So this is an Eileen Fisher top, and it is largely expensive. I mean, and I hate to keep going over the prices. I just want you to know how much you'll save. And on Monday night, when we go over these, we've just got the hours packed. So I wanted to do this ahead of time so that you could either do it ahead of time and have it ready for your grade 8 to come, or you could save it for after. Either way, you can review it. But this is a fabric we have. It's great. It's not sheer, but light, very light. It's definitely not sheer. You could use it for a blouse if you wanted to, but it was perfect for what I wanted. And again, because these are so pricey, it's just an hour of time and just a little bit of fabric. And definitely do a nice fabric, because if you do something cheap, it'll pucker and ripple and yeah. Anyway. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. This is called the Eileen Fisher sheer top. All right, so I'm taking a yard of fabric, and the stripes on this particular fabric are going from selvage to selvage. And because I want the stripes up the front of me, going vertical, that's how I'm laying out the top, and I'm using 1 yard. And so the yard is actually going from this point to this point, and I did not shorten that. For me, I'm okay, but all through this process, they're all variables, and you can cut them however you want to. All right, so then the first thing I did is I fold this way. So selvages together across the back. Excuse me. Got to turn that phone off, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, selvages together. They're at the bottom. So in the middle is where I'm going to cut my neckline. And let me just tell you a little secret about necklines. And I would use your neckline from either your classic blouse, something woven, not knit. A knit neckline is going to be too small. You could take a knit neckline and just increase it in size, but a neckline is lower in the front. So let's say in the neckline in the front, I want it to be at least 6 inches, and it's here on the curve. So if I go from, say, 16 to 22 or 17 to 23, that will give me a nice neckline for the front. So I want it to be lower in the front and higher in the back. And the French curve lays down this way in the back. So I can lay it down and cut the back. Or I can use a pattern. I can either use my French curve or my pattern, but you can see with my neckline, it's lower in the front and higher in the back. Now, what that does is that stabilizes it on your neck. If you just cut a hole, then it won't stay stable. It'll move all over the place. But the fact that it's lower in the front and higher in the back will keep it stable on your body. I don't need shoulder seams. I don't need side panels. I don't need any of that. But I do need the neckline cut differently according to how my body's cut differently. All right, so once I cut that, I'm going to cut it in the middle. I'm going to cut it. I finished mine with a fold-over elastic. And I did that because I wanted a really nice contrast right at that point. Part of the grade 8 is the sweater set. And this is what the one I have on underneath. But if you put it on with a tank top, and that's a lower neckline, I liked that little contrasting band there at the neckline. And so I did the fold-over elastic. And people have said to me, can I do fold-over elastic on a woven? Of course you can. You're stretching the elastic just like you would on a knit. So yes, it's a great companion. You could even do it up the sides if you wanted to finish up the sides, or across the bottom. It could be all trimmed in black, and I think that'd be really nice. Just cut your fold-over elastic 1 inch less than the opening. Measure the opening and cut your elastic, your fold-over 1 inch less. and then just quarter it, you know, and pin it in place. All right, now when you cut your neckline, put it on and make sure it goes over your head. If it doesn't, just cut the whole thing out just a little bit greater. But again, make sure it's lower in the front than in the back so it'll stay put. All right, so then what I did is I cut my neckline and I did my fold over elastic and I put it on. The Eileen Fisher top, and if you Google Eileen Fisher sheer top, you'll see this. It is shorter it's short in the front and short in the back. I decided I wanted it longer in the back. That's just my decision. So what I did is I cut, but I still wanted it short in the front because I wanted to show the layers. That's what I liked about it. So I cut 10 inches off the front. So from the bottom there, bam, 10 inches all the way across the front. But I do think I like the long, so you might make more than one. I definitely like the long. I just really was going for the short look in the front, and so I decided to cut this one off and make it shorter. And again, what I really liked was the layered look. This layered look is really stylish right now, and so there's one layer of the tunic, and then, of the sheer top, and then my tunic, and then the pants. And so again, there's so many different ways to create it, but that's all it is. It's a yard of fabric. This particular one is 54 inches wide, 56 inches wide. That will make a difference because that will tell you how long it will hang in the first place. So you can manipulate all those numbers to get exactly what you want. On my hemming, I just rolled over the edges and top stitched. I didn't use a serger on this project at all. I felt like the threads of the serger were just too heavy for this particular fabric, so I just decided to do a fold over on the sewing machine. And I just really liked the way it looked. And then also as an alternative, you could get it kind of half a twist and put this point down in the middle and really give it this asymmetric look. And I like that too, where one is longer than another. If I'm doing something practical and I don't want it in my way, look at it, it's shorter over here and it stays out of my way. I just love it. I just really like it. It's easy, it's quick, it's simple. And again, to my grade 8, it gives me that soft flowiness I wanted. Laura doesn't know about this yet because I'm kind of working behind the scenes and I don't want to give her too much because I've given her so much. But anyway, she'll find out. She'll like it. All right, so happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.